Okay, in this video, in Deck the Halls, I'm going to walk you through it and how to play it the simple way, but I'm also going to show you a fun trick that you can do with the chords to play the chords a different way. So let's do the song first. We'll look through it. We're in the key of C, so our usual kind of suspects for chords, a C chord and a G chord, both of which you know. G chord, C chord, the D chord, which usually isn't in the key of C, but it is in this case. And then C chord, F chord, and G chord. So playing through all those, I guess we could just use this one. We have a C chord, a G chord, or you could play it down here. Either way, the G chord's kind of the one that can go either way, either by middle C or way below middle C. And then the D chord, D, F sharp, A. Okay, and you can also look at this F chord, this guy way down there. So practice finding all those chords, see how fast you can find them. C, D, F, G, and make sure that you play all of them down at the same time. If you like some of the stuff we've done, both in Hymns in a Hurry and in this, these kind of arpeggio patterns, those are great things to practice, just kind of isolated by themselves. So all I'm doing is taking that C chord, that D chord, that F chord, and that G chord, and I'm playing it in a pattern. The first note, third note, fifth note, third note. Moving up, D chord, moving up. Right, I'm kind of playing more fun, kind of lively rhythms. Just because that's what the type of thing that we're going to use in this song, Deck the Halls, because it's a fun, a lively Christmas song. Okay, so you can either play in this G. I have it notated here in this the G by middle C. I'm going to play it an octave higher, and the only reason I would recommend that, you can totally do it down here if that's throwing you off. Please don't be confused by that. But I like to have room to play chords in this area, and I don't want my right hand to get in the way. So if you play it here, or here, it's totally fine either way. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. We're not going to go that fast. Find your G with your pinky. I would start with your finger 5 on G, and let's play through the melody here. C, D, E, C, D, E, F, D, E, long note, D, C, B, C. Let's do that again. G, F, E, D, C, D, E, C, D, E, F, D, E, D, C, B, C. Okay. And then we add our G chord and our G chord and our C chord to this equation. Just repeated it. And then switch chords again, and then switch chords again. A lot of back and forth between C and G. So if that's hard for you to get those chords in, just practice going back and forth like this. C, G, C, G, C, G. And the faster you can do it, the better, right? But if you can do it at least that fast, you should totally be fine for this. More than fine, actually. I think that's faster than you even need to do it here. Okay, so let's play it from the beginning. Here we go. G chord, and then a C chord, and then a G chord. Okay, one more time. Very good. Okay, moving on. And this is the same thing, so I'm not going to stay too long here. switch chord, switch chord. This melody is really nice. Not all melodies are this kind, but this melody is nice that you can put yourself in a 5-finger position. What that is you put your thumb on C, your second finger, your 2 on D, your third finger, 3 on E, then on 4 on F, 5 on G. So you put your 5 fingers there, and then you can just stay there. Don't have to move around the piano at all. And in fact, at the end, when you play the B and you leave the 5-finger position, I like to just cross over with my second finger to play that B and then cross right back under. Okay, so now here is the only line in the song that is different. So, this is probably the hardest part because it's a lot of notes. Okay, so we have the... And I actually, the original has another G chord in there. You can add that if you want. But I took it out just so you don't have to change quite so often. And this totally works, this D chord. Okay, let's do this line a couple times together. So let's just do the melody first. Dawn, we now are gay apparel, fa la la. And then if you run out of fingers, you can just kind of move your hand up. Fa la 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 la. The only thing that is easier about this whole thing is they're all kind of in steps. So they all just follow one note after the other on the piano. Even if you did it with one finger, you could find it. I don't recommend that you do it with one finger. I recommend that you do figure out some sort of semblance of fingering. But it also doesn't have to be exact and doesn't have to be the same every time in this type of thing. Let's do the melody again. Okay, let's add chords. Switch to C chord. Switch to D chord. Switch to G chord. Okay, and that is the line. The only line in the whole thing that is different. And the last one is the same as... I guess it's a little different, isn't it? Because this is the first time we have our F chord and we're playing this A above. But it is very similar. So because it is different, let's play the melody first together. G, F, E, D, C, D, E, C, and then leap to A. A, G, F, E, D, C. Okay, play hands together here. And then go up to the F. And then G chord. Together again. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning now and just play the whole thing through slow together. To be jolly, fa la 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 la, la 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 la. Okay. Dawn, we now are gay Okay, so now let's talk about how we can make this a bit more fun, kind of liven it up a bit. So first of all, you could play it faster. Once you get it in your fingers and once you kind of, have it in your blood. I know that's like, whoa, that's so overwhelming. You guys might feel sometimes like I do when I go do yoga. The instructor does something and then I'm like, what? Like, you want me to do what? Excuse me? But you don't have to. You could slowly kind of work your way up to that. I know that's probably even a bit faster than you want to go. And I wouldn't recommend doing this until you've practiced this a bunch. But that is one thing that can kind of liven it up, is just playing it faster. Right? And then the other thing that you can do is stuff with your left hand, stuff I'm already doing, but create a nice little pulse. Right? And create some different rhythms with your left hand. Kind of like I talk about in Blue Christmas. So in this one I would recommend, because it is a faster tune, to just kind of keep it at a pulse though, especially in the beginning. Sometimes you might just have one chord in that chord change, and it might be very short, and that's totally fine. Okay, so experiment in this one with just some bounces and some pulses. And practice doing just the chords by themselves. Da 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 da. You can practice with both hands, kind of like we talk about in my in some later exercises that we're going to do in this course. You could totally do that. Anyway, I hope you have fun with Deck the Halls, and I will see you soon. Thanks.